In this video, we're going to learn how to perform a jump action. A jump action is a volt action, meaning that instead of using dominoes, players will spend volts to perform this action. Over the course of a game of CodeWorld, characters will accumulate volts. Volts are used for actions such as jumping, as well as to gain a character status called overclocking. The two requirements to perform a jump action are that the character is currently overclocking and has some number of volts. When performing a jump action, a character can spend anywhere from 1 to 6 volts. Each volt that the character spends allows the character to move vertically 1 unit or horizontally 1 unit. When moving vertically, characters travel through what are called layers, 2-inch increments numbering from 0 on ground level all the way up to 6 at the top of the board. Traveling horizontally, characters travel in domino length units. Unlike a standard move action, when performing a jump and moving horizontally, a character must travel in a perfectly straight line. Ultimately, the exact direction of the jump and the combination of vertical and horizontal units are up to the player with a few very simple constraints. The first constraint is that a character jumping on a horizontal surface must begin the jump traveling vertically. Conversely, a character jumping off of a vertical surface must begin the jump traveling horizontally. Another constraint is that a character, when they begin their jump and they begin their horizontal movement, all movement for the remainder of that jump must be in that same direction, whichever direction was picked. The character can't later go back or change the angle of their jump. And finally, a character can travel vertically up, can travel over, can travel up, but once the character travels down, the character can no longer travel up again. We'll spend this unambiguous 6 volts to perform a couple different types of jumps to show you what these jumps can look like. First, let's do a simple jump spending 4 volts to travel upwards 1 layer, forward 2 horizontal units, and then back down 1 layer. The character doesn't end in the air and essentially accomplishes a 2-link movement forward. Now, let's look at a completely different type of jump. In this jump, the character will spend all 6 volts to jump upwards 6 layers, ending in the highest layer, layer 6. We're going to take a jump rod, place it in a jump holder. We're going to take what is called a shadow token and place it at the character's horizontal position on the game surface and put the character into the air. Now the character has spent 6 volts and jumped straight upwards. Let's look at another scenario or two. In this scenario, let's jump up with the Onabagashia 2 layers, forward 2 layers, and then up a 3rd layer. So we're going to travel up 2, forward 2, and this could be any direction. I'm just choosing this particular direction for this demonstration. We're going to put the shadow token here, because this is going to complete the character's horizontal direction movement. And then, so ultimately, we're moving up 3 layers. So we're going to start in layer 0. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. And the character is going to end in the air in layer 3. One last scenario we're going to look at is jumping onto a wall. If we start a little bit closer to the wall, and we want to jump onto the wall, what we're going to need to do is spend enough volts to get the horizontal distance to the wall. So in this case, we would need to travel 1, 2, 3 lengths horizontally. So we could travel up to 3 layers vertically because we can spend up to 6 volts. So let's go ahead and spend all 6. We're going to travel up to layer 3 and forward 3, and we click into the wall. We've jumped from the ground to the wall. That covers the basics and most of the rules regarding jumping in CodeWorld.